Notorious B.I.G. with Big Papa. Morning, everybody. It's DJ Envy Angela Yee. Charlamagne the God. We are the Breakfast Club. Now, if you just joined us, tell the people what happened over the weekend with Donald Trump, Yee.
Well, President Donald Trump made a decision on Friday. He wants to indefinitely suspend the resettlement of Syrian refugees and temporarily ban people from 7 predominantly Muslim nations from entering the United States.
All right, and we're asking 800-585-1051. What do you think about the ban?
First of all, once again, it's not a Muslim ban. It's a ban on Muslims.
Same thing.
And like I said during Donkey today, it seems to me the only people being hassled and inconvenienced by this ban is regular, everyday, foreign-born Muslims who have all the proper credentials. Because if you just look at Americans since 9/11, homegrown white supremacists and similar extremists have killed more Americans in the U.S. than Islamic terrorists. Okay, so I don't see where the threat is. I just really don't.
I don't see it either.
The stat I read during Donkey today is from the Cato Institute. It said that the odds of an American being killed by an immigrant terrorist of faith are 1 in 3.6 million. The odds of being killed by a refugee specifically are even higher, 1 in 3.6 billion. So I don't see the point in profiling Muslims. Where's this irrational fear coming from?
Right.
Well, let's go to the phone lines. Now, I just
want to say one last thing too. Just because you're Muslim, that does not mean that you're a terrorist.
Of course not.
People who are Muslim do not like ISIS. They do not like Islamic extremism either. There's people who are fleeing from their countries because of it.
Right. Hello, what's your name, sir?
Ron.
Now you agree with Donald Trump and you agree with the ban?
I mean, to a certain extent, it's
Why?
Politics is local. Like, ask somebody that lost something in 9/11. Do they agree with Trump? I heard the stories. I'm sitting back. I'm listening to the Muslim man who builds houses, and it was touching. I was like, dag, man. It's messed up.
Right.
He definitely jumped the gun with it. He definitely didn't have a plan in place. Like, he doesn't seem to have a plan in place for anything. Like, he canceled Obamacare, doesn't have anything to give people for insurance. He put the ban on, doesn't have a proper vetting system. But to a certain extent, like me personally, it doesn't matter. My sister's in the army. She's in Germany. She's coming back with him. So, like, politics is local. That's the point I'm trying to make. But
I understand what you're saying, man. And listen, if you can prevent another 9/11, by all means do it. But it has to be a better vetting process that properly represents the liberty and justice for all that this country is supposed to be about.
Hello, who's this?
Yeah, my name is Gil.
Now you can't understand why people are so upset.
Well, I mean, I could understand, but at the end of the day, we don't know who we're letting into this country. Yeah, I get we have to figure out something like another way of determining who those people are that we're letting into this country. But at the end of the day, you really can't get mad because, I mean, it's just we have to figure out a different approach to this because, yeah, I understand people are hurt that their families can't come back in, but I mean, I got family that can't come back into this country either. So, I mean, at the end of the day, we just got to live with it. We just got to figure out a different way to...
But these people are being... it's just because of their religion, because they are Muslim.
Yeah, all Muslims aren't bad. And you can't ban every Muslim for coming to the United States.
I told you about that book that I was reading. This young girl who was kidnapped by ISIS. Her family was torn apart. People were murdered, and they're trying to flee and get their freedom.
Right.
Listen,
should we turn our back on those people?
I love this meme that everybody's posting. I actually had to check it to make sure it was true, but it's a 10-year average of terrorist attacks, deadly attacks since 9/11. Islamic jihadist immigrants, we've had 2. Being shot by another American, 11,737. Armed toddlers have killed 21 people in America since 9/11. So when are we going to ban armed toddlers?
Yeah, I seen that, but I wasn't sure if that was true. But if it is,
it's accurate.
It's accurate. 800-585-1051. We're talking about the ban of Muslims that Donald Trump tried.
It'll probably make it worse for us here, make us more of a target.
Absolutely, because right now all you did was piss off all the Muslim extremists.
All right, 800-585-1051.
Why does extremist sound like excrement?
I think it's extremists.
It's extremists. Call us now.
Extremists.
It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Okay, keep going.
And the God, we are the Breakfast Club. Now, if you just joined us, we've been talking about Donald Trump. He tried to ban Muslims over the weekend. Explain to the people briefly, Yee, what happened.
First of all, you said he did not try to ban Muslims.
What?
He implemented a Muslim ban.
That's the same thing I said.
Well, in New York, that's not going to go down because they actually are still letting people in. And I think in Massachusetts also, right?
Right.
The judges there have said they are not going along with this ban because it's unconstitutional. It's illegal.
Hello, who's this?
Hello, yes. Good morning. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam.
This is Kai from Queens. Peace, everybody.
Peace. Now, how do you feel about the Donald Trump ban?
I am a born Muslim. I am American 100%. I think it's disgusting. It's violating the Constitution in the interest of America and foreign relations. It's disgusting, man. He's a disgusting person. To tell people that, you know, they've worked hard all these years to, you know, provide for their families, and to just tell them you can't go back to that area. You can't go back to this place. Most of them are Americans now. That's disgusting. And for people on social media and everybody to be like, oh, it's nothing wrong with it. Donald Trump is creating... Sorry?
I said families are being ripped apart. People have their visas. They should be able to be here legally. They're being sent back.
But what I think what's happening, what we don't realize is he's creating a post 9/11 tension in the air that people are now afraid again of Muslims. Look what just happened in Quebec. You know,
right.
People are now being afraid, and it's creating that tension of don't go near them, stay away from them, you know, harm them, and God forbid. But I think that this is going to continue to happen. It's going to be a fear of stay away and harm these people.
It's an irrational fear, because the odds of an American being killed by an immigrant terrorist of faith are 1 in 3.6 million. You got a better chance of getting killed by another American. You got a better chance of getting struck by lightning.
But he's playing in the fears of the people for majority of it as well.
Now, if you look on Bloomberg.com, they also talk about Trump's immigration ban does not include countries where he has business ties. So
That's true.
Any place that he's done business or he has pursued potential deals, they are not included in that ban, even though they're Muslim majority countries.
Hello, who's this?
Good morning.
Hey, good morning, man. What do you think about the Trump ban?
You know, I think you guys are making it out to be a little bit differently. You all have a huge influence on the community and a lot of listeners, and I think a lot of people are going to go to work today thinking some things. I really want to make it known it's only 7 countries, and it's only for 120 days.
We said that.
But you said it's a ban of all Muslims, and there's a lot of countries, Saudi Arabia, lots of other countries, people can come.
Where Donald Trump does business.
And there's lots of other Muslim countries, too. I just want to make sure that you're putting the information out there so people have a clear understanding, because you have an important voice in the community, and people are going to hear it and going to go to work with a certain idea.
No, you're right, sir, but I want to ask you a question. If it's not a Muslim ban, what is it?
It is a ban on countries where
Muslims are from.
Right.
Where it's majority Muslim.
There certainly are, but there's a whole lot of Muslims in Saudi Arabia. There's a whole lot of Muslims in other countries as well. It's only for 120 days, and it's only 7 countries. And I don't think it's a whole lot.
I think it's temporary, but it could still be extended, and it's the beginning of starting something that's going to last longer than that.
Absolutely.
Gotcha.
You're okay with the ban?
You're right. So once, I just want to be clear, because I understand. I like your point. It's not a Muslim ban. It's a ban on Muslims for 120 days.
It's a ban on people from those 7 countries.
And you agree with it?
I think for right now it's fine. One of the things that the concerns have been in countries where the government is completely in disarray, for example, like Syria. It's pretty difficult to get information on backgrounds of peoples. Obviously, the Iranians don't like us very much. You see a lot of bad things going on in Yemen, and so I don't know how you're supposed to get background information and background checks from those countries.
What about the people who already have visas that are being sent back? What about the students who are coming here? Should they still now, after they've been here and had no issues and had their visas and worked for the government in some cases, be sent back?
Absolutely not, because those people, we have some information on them. We know their character. We know their heart. We know who they are.
But they are being sent back.
I'm not so sure about that, and if you checked on that, I don't know that much about that particular part about it, and you might be right on that.
No, they have.
That's wrong.
They have been. We just played a clip of the guy who's been here for 20 years as an American citizen. He's actually a contractor, builds American people houses, and they sent his brother back to Iran.
Mm-hmm. Now, what's the moral of the story, guys?
The moral of the story is if you can prevent another 9/11, by all means do it, but it has to be a better vetting process that properly represents the liberty and justice for all that this country is supposed to be about. And the other moral of the story is I'm way more concerned about the Trump administration killing us than I am Islamic jihadist immigrants killing us.
All right. Well, yeah, we got rumors on the way.
Who's going to protect us from them? Who's going to protect us from the Trump administration?
Yes, we'll talk more about the SAG Awards that went down over the weekend. We'll tell you what some of those big winners are. And we will talk about the Warriors coach, Steve Kerr, what he has to say about President Donald Trump and how it's affecting him.
Okay, all that and more. Keep it locked. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.